Yellowjackets Season 2, Episode 6. We took a little bit of a hiatus, just a week-long break just to get back into the flavor of things, which I kind of like. We're doing 10 episodes. I guess doing them back-to-back is fine, but if you're going to take a little bit of a break during, like, the mid-season, I like that. Make it this short so we can miss it when it comes back. We're happy. Because this show continues to be fun. You know, I don't want to get too much into what could happen next season, given events currently happening in Hollywood, because it's kind of sad that we still have to have these talks about stuff like that. But I just think, like, for what this episode did and where it's headed, it finally set up a lot of stuff I've been hoping for a lot this season. I'm not going to say it's like the most grandiose episode that we've done so far. I don't think it is. I think it's just like a nice little one where it's like, yeah, now we're coming back into it. You know, we're getting there. Revelations are revealed and character motivations are put forward. This is a pretty intense episode. Not a lot of like big things happening in the present timeline until like the very end. We're just establishing where people are going to go, how things are going to get set up. This is primarily an episode in the past timeline, delving into what could have been. This episode opens up in health class, and we see that some of our students, Jeff and Randy and Misty and Shauna and Thaisa and Van, well, they're not really liking health class too much, just kind of talking about whatever. And we see that Jeff passes a note to Shauna that's like, hey, I had a great time. And she gets really pissed off that he's doing that in the middle of class. What a goofy, weird boy. What a really terrible thing to do. The coach, of course, is teaching health class because he knows everything about the female anatomy. That is just his wheelhouse. So he should be the one to talk about it. I think what I like what they've been doing with the coach is they've just been giving us little glimpses of to the life he could have lived. And then it's going to establish like where he's going to end up later because we're seeing what he wanted, the choices he made that were wrong. Something's going to happen to him. I don't think he's making it out of this season alive. I don't know what they could do else with his character. He seems like the one they're going to eat, but we'll get back to that in a minute here. Because we had Jeff and Shauna passing notes, we cut to the forest, and it's labor time, baby. That's what this episode is. It's labor time. This is an intense way to do it, because you imagine these are young women who have minimal experience in what is happening at this moment. Now they have to deliver a baby. The only adult who could help has no idea how to do this. He just plays click on a video. If you even click play, it's more just like you press the button on the VCR and it's going to rewind a video for you. Like, that's what he's doing. So he doesn't know what to do. The only one who has some sense of this is Misty, but she is just like, I literally have blood on my hands from trying to help this child. I killed somebody literally moments ago. What is going on now? And that's what this episode dives into, is a bunch of young women trying to deliver a baby, and it is intensity and scary, and I think it does it perfectly in this way where there is just tension in the idea that nobody knows what's going to happen. None of them are versed enough to understand what this is. When the placenta comes out, when the child comes out, there's so many terrifying moments that Misty has to snap back in and take charge. And you see, like, maybe if we pray over the skull of this dead animal and drop our blood onto it, that the wilderness will keep us safe. Lottie's trying to be like a calming presence. Everyone's getting a little bit crazy. And it's like, that is a reasonable reaction to this. You're scared, you're frightened, and I'm sure Shauna's going through it the most. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to get out of this situation. What happens? But she has a nice little baby boy, and the baby boy is big and healthy and crying in like a... It definitely feels like they took like the speech pattern of a baby and copied it over loop so it doesn't sound like a real kid, which I guess is fine. And then I guess some time passes between then, and she's just trying to breastfeed the baby. It's not taking. Lottie manages to make it work, and she gets pissed off that Lottie's taking care of this baby. Lottie keeps calling it our baby, and the theme of this episode is Shauna being a mother and realizing like the mistakes she made in the present timeline to the past timeline and the connections to her children. So that's intense and scary. And yeah, we have a baby boy. He's going to be healthy. He's going to grow up big and strong. Pretty exciting. Shauna's trying to get him to feed. She finally manages to get him to feed at the end of the episode. We're all happy. It's like finally the baby's going to take. Who's he going to grow up into? He'd be 25 years old. Oh no, it's a dream because Shauna has another memory, or a vision, I should say, not a memory, of her friends eating her child. And when we wake up, she is still in like the delivery stage and the child is stillborn. And you know what? I cannot complain about that. I think it makes more logical sense for that just to be like a traumatic experience that Shauna's going to have to work through now in the present timeline than having us have like the who could it be in the present timeline that's her child. This works better for me. Like it's a smarter choice that affects her character more, and I like to see what's going to happen from that. It is a very tragic moment to end this episode with all of these young women witnessing like a child dying at birth, and they all break down to tears like, what are we supposed to do? None of us have the emotional capacity to do anything about this situation. So the entire time we're thinking she had a big healthy boy, she didn't have anything. And the prayers didn't work, the support didn't work, nothing worked. Wilderness is an unforgiving place. Plotline wrapped up, which is a good thing. You know, why leave that hanging fruit over our heads for so long? It's not going to change anything. It's not going to add anything. So having it wrap up here, I am fine with that. It is a satisfying end to that kind of story. Now it can lead into what's going to be happening later on with Shauna and all the other characters. We still have the baby. I don't see. Like they keep teasing in the present timeline, like you don't know the things we did out there, and that leads me to think like, oh, did we do something more heinous than just eating a girl that's been dead for months? Do we eat this stillborn baby? Is that like an appetizer to the coach or something? It's really weird. I can excuse a lot of things they do, but if they eat the baby, that is kind of devastating. I don't think they will because that is more traumatic than eating your dead friend. I guess we'll find out, but that's the only storyline that kind of happens in the past timeline. It's all about Shauna. The young actress is, I think, being propositioned by Showtime to be like the one they're putting into awards consideration. And that's fine. I think she did fine. I wouldn't say it's like the performance of the past that I would have pumped forward. I still think the coach is doing great, and the young woman playing Misty is doing great too. But I see what they're going for. That kind of storyline is really favorable for awards, so I give them that. In the present timeline, the thing that is happening is something I've been waiting all season for. My girls are coming together. Everyone is connecting. Misty gets into the cult. Lottie sees her and is instantly like, oh, the past is catching up to me. Everybody is coming home. And it's scary. And I really like that moment where she's with her therapist and she's just like, something obviously is coming back and I don't know what it is. First it was Travis and then it was Nat and now it's Misty. Something is happening and I don't know what that is and it's scary and I'm losing my mind slightly. I don't understand it. That's really cool stuff. We have the Ty and Van story, which I honestly think their dynamic works so much more than the Ty and Simone dynamic, because that story was just, look at how angry Simone's going to be with Ty through most of it. This one is just two scorned lovers coming together and they could be happy together, but they won't allow themselves to be. The conversations when they're in the car and you see Ty's asking about like her sex life, I'm like, yep, that's cool. I'm happy for them. I just want them to be together because they're cute and fun. I love my ladies being happy and having a good time. And Misty just calls to Ty. It's like, yeah, I'm at Lottie's cult right now and Nat's here if you want to swing by for whatever reason. I love that it's just that nonchalant. And they do. She's going to swing by. It's great. I also really like that Misty is just loving every second of like the cult life. Like, you thought the crime would be annoying, but I'm used to it now and I get to talk about Natalie all the time, so it's great. Ricci giving a great performance, just having the time of her life being this neurotic lady who's obsessed with Juliette Lewis. It's so fun and cool. It makes for some great stuff. And then we have to go to an interrogation scene where Melanie Linsky delivers her best performance of the show so far, where she's talking to the police officer that was hitting on her daughter and talking about like the choices she made as a mother and how hard it can be, which is told to us before we see her stillborn child. So it's like this is clearly setting up what happened to her in the past timeline and how she regrets so much of the things she's done and how it was the last time she maybe felt happy was having this affair with somebody. It's all believable, and it's a little on the nose and heavy-handed, but it is believable. And while Callie is doing another interrogation, she's playing up the card like, well, maybe the cop tried to have sex with me. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's fair. Who's the court going to believe? The cop that could clearly be lying, or you? I buy that. I like that. So while the ladies are doing their interrogations and they're doing two different tactics where Shauna actually reveals she did have the affair of Adam, in the car, Jeff is pumping up to fuck the police, and he gets a call from Ty, and I love it. He's like, yo, she's in the bathroom. She takes a while, though, so I could leave a message. He's so goofy. I'm so glad they leaned into this side of Jeff, because if he was going to be angry the whole time, it'd be very annoying. But making him like the comedic goofball for the side of the family, I think it's working well for his character, and it's making him more likable than if he was a dick. He's trying to do the right thing, and I am here for that. Just a guy thinking he can get by. It's not bad. It's working well. And he tells Shauna, so yeah, your friend runs a cult now, and all your other friends are over there if you want to go check it out. He thinks she should go to get help, but she's like, that sounds insane. And this episode ends the way it should, the way I've been hoping for the past couple of episodes. All of our older actresses are finally reconvening in one location. Everybody is showing up. Misty's already indoctrinated. Juliette Lewis is like, okay, I guess everyone's here now. They have their hugging moments and they're all excited. And then our little, not quartet, because there's 5 of them now, right? Yeah, because we introduced Van. So our Pentagon, I guess. They look over on the horizon at this beautiful mountainous landscape of forest, and who is there walking over in a beautiful flowing dress? Simone Kessel. Charlotte Lottie, baby. She's doing it. I'm here for it. I love it. Look at these beautiful girls just having a good time now. We do the big bird's eye view. The entire location is like the symbol of the Antler Queen. We're having a great time. Everything's crazy. And finally, all of our older actresses are together. We got Christina Ricci, Melanie Linsky, Juliette Lewis, Tawny Cypress, Simone Kessel, and Lauren Ambrose. Now, there's still a couple of them in the past timeline we don't know the events of, but these 6 being the ones we know make it, it's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. I do like that. They're all together. And I do think the next couple episodes are going to be, well, we're going to be seeking help for our problems, and everyone's going to have like maybe like the 6 of them will get together and have like a little confessional moment of like, I lost my child. I'm unhappy in having these visions. I just wanted my friends. I killed Crystal, that kind of thing. I'm here for it. They're finally together and I'm happy. I am so happy. And I'm glad this is not where they did the week-long hiatus, because I want to be in this world more now. Thank you all for coming. It's so nice. I just love that shot where we see Lottie walking off like her little like pier or stand and headed towards them, because it's like, yeah, she is like the villain of the piece so far, and I think that just looked really cool having her have that moment. So beautiful, so awesome. This show continues to be fun. I hope it can keep it up, but we'll see. We will see. It's great. Great to be back in a world where writers can make something fun. So that is going to do it for this review of Yellowjackets. Now, it does end with a baby dying, so don't let that ruin your day. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.